Good morning. Let's go on another few verses on Psalms. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching. I hope you don't mind the background music. It's Josh Snodgrass. I really enjoy it. So, blessed with another morning when I'm awake before everybody else, kids are sleeping, and I just have this playing low, no other sounds in the house, and it's healing. So beautiful. So Psalms chapter 8. The glory of the Lord in creation, to the chief musician, on the instrument of Gath, a psalm of David. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is your name in all the earth, who have set your glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and nursing infants you have ordained strength, because of your enemies, that you may silence the enemy of the avenger. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have ordained, what is man that you are mindful of him, and the son of man that you visit him? I talked about this yesterday, or whenever you watched my last video, last Bible study. I just was in complete awe when I asked God, I need to know if you're real, and he actually showed me, and I prayed to Jesus, the Son, and he did visit me, and that is the only reason I'm a Christian. I had people throughout my life here and there try to make me a Christian. I've had hours and hours of conversation, and I think sometimes people ask me, why did God choose you? Why didn't God visit me? And some people are asking it with skepticism, and other people are asking it with longing. And I think, the explanation I came up with in my head is just because I was somebody who actually needed it. It was clear there was no amount of convincing, no amount of fellowship with other people, or people trying to debate me about it or talk to me about it. I won literally every debate I've ever had. Back when I wasn't a believer, I won all the debates. So there's no, I needed it. I needed him to show me. And don't feel bad if it doesn't happen for you, because, it's the story of doubting Thomas, where the disciples came to him and they said, Jesus is risen, Jesus is risen. And he said, yeah, I'm not going to believe that until I see the holes in his hands. And then Jesus appeared. It was Jesus again who visited and showed him. And he said to Thomas, those who believe without seeing are more blessed. So, don't feel bad if, I'm a doubting Thomas. You have a chance to be more blessed than me if you believe without seeing. For me, I just wasn't going to be believing without seeing it. And so let's keep going. And the Son of Man, that you visit him, for you have made him a little lower than the angels, and you have crowned him with glory and honor. I felt so honored. Beyond honored. There's not a word for it. You have made him to have dominion over the works of your hands. And just one more thing. I felt so honored because he visited me, but not because I think that makes me more special than other people, but that all of us are special enough that the creator of all things, who knows the universe from its entire span, and he all of the billions or trillions of people who have ever existed, he has known their names and their stories and every pain and every prayer and every word that they speak. That just is and that extends to all of us. That's a huge honor to every person, that the Creator pays us mind. He pays us any attention. So we're all honored by that. He knows all of our names. You have made him to have dominion over the works of your hands. And he's honored us with this as well. You have put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, even the beasts of the air, the birds of the air, and the fish of the sea that pass through the paths of the seas. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is your name in all the earth. You know, sometimes there are these, political dichotomies that don't actually align when you read the Bible for yourself. Like, a lot of times, hippies or environmentalists aren't stereotyped as being Christians, but Christians should be the most involved in having dominion over the earth, because that was originally what we were put here for. Let me get some water. I'll be right back. I love the fall. It's just starting to get cozy. So that was Psalm 8. It's a good discussion for another day about environmentalists versus Christians, because, for me, if I have a calling, that is something that has always been a thing for me. I'm a born environmentalist, and I'm not like, I don't do a lot of things about it or with it. It's just that that's my identity. It's not even my identity. It's not my identity. It's just a part of me that's innate. I care about animals and the environment, and I love nature. I love being in it, and I care a lot about extinction and the animals' habitats being disrupted. Like, I really naturally, and my entire life, have cared a lot about that. So I don't know if everyone feels that way. Maybe it's like suppressed or buried, but this is what God originally put us on earth to do. That was our job. We have dominion over the whole earth. And to me, that means we're supposed to take care of it, manage it, It's there for us, and we're there for it as well. Animals are alive, and God created them too. They have feelings. Prayer and thanksgiving for the Lord's righteous judgment. To the chief musician, to the tune of Death of the Sun, a psalm of David. So just real quick here, I don't want to keep interrupting, but just one more thing real quick. The all these titles, if you go to the Greek text, these titles like that I just read in between each chapter, they're actually not there. They were actually added in. And so I always wonder, do I really want to read that as if it's part of the original Bible? Because you know, it does say in Revelation not to add anything to the Bible. In this case, I'm doing a Bible study, so I'm saying a lot of things in between the verses. I'm not trying to make a replica of the Bible here, but I do wonder if it's healthy that we read those or not. But anyway, let's just take it with a grain of salt whenever I read the titles in between each chapter. Psalm chapter 9. I will praise you, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will tell of all your marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. I totally understand the whole heart thing, because once you realize that he's your creator and he is the author, the illustrator of every cell in your body, and you love him and you're grateful to him, you're amazed by him, mostly just so amazed. Your whole heart is a given. He created every cell of that, and every cell that makes up your blood, every design and function of your body. He, you know, and your being, your aliveness, your consciousness, he breathed life into us. When my enemies turn back, and oh, have I had times where I just have to call on God to ask that my enemies turn back and just depart from me, you know? When my enemies turn back, they shall fall and perish at your presence. For you have maintained my right and my cause. You sat on the throne, judging in righteousness. You have rebuked the nations. You have destroyed the wicked. You have blotted out their name forever and ever. I'm sorry, I'm like a little bit sick. I've never edited a YouTube video before because I don't really know how yet, or I don't have the software for it. But this is real. I'm a real human being. Okay, I need water and I have to cough sometimes. But the Lord shall endure. O enemy, destructions are finished forever, and you have destroyed cities. Even their memory has perished. Yeah, we know that from the LiDAR in South America. If you've ever seen those maps where they use LiDAR over what's now a jungle where you can't tell that it's ever been inhabited, there are civilizations where there's no name for them. Nobody knows who they are. But the Lord shall endure forever. He has prepared his throne for judgment. He shall judge the world in righteousness, and he shall administer judgment for the peoples in uprightness. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And those who know your name will put their trust in you. For you, Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. Sing praises to the Lord who dwells in Zion. Declare his deeds among the people. When he avenges blood, he remembers them. He does not forget the cry of the humble. So important to be humble for a lot of reasons. Have mercy on me, O Lord. Consider my trouble from those who hate me, who lift me up from the gates of death, that I may tell of all your praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion. I will rejoice in your salvation. Sorry, I have to get more water. Thank you for waiting. Sorry, I'm not in control of that. The nations have sunk down in the pit which they made. In the net which they hid, their own foot is caught. That's a theme I've seen so many times throughout the Bible. You know, if you decide to, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. For the needy shall not always be forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, do not let man prevail. Let the nations be judged in your sight. Put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. Selah. I hope you can hear the music in the background. Josh Snodgrass. Psalm 10. So sometimes when I'm doing this, I'm just bringing you along with me to Bible study as I go. But if I wasn't videotaping this, I would really like to take a little break to go onto like the Blue Letter Bible. Definitely check that out, because what it does is you can click on words, individual words, because sometimes I have a question about the original word in Greek, and they have other languages too, where you can see the original word and see other places where it's repeated, because a lot of times when I'm reading the Bible, I will want to see the truest meaning of that word. And so if it's repeated in another verse that I thought of, then I can compare the verses and see, is that the same word? Is that the same meaning, or is it slightly different? And also, the Blue Letter Bible does that for you, because you can click on a word and copy and paste that word and ask, where is this word repeated everywhere in the Bible? And it'll show you all the verses where that word exists. Like, you can use the word judge, see where that word judge is in the entire Bible, or the word humble, or the word hell. And you'll learn things that people basically never talk about. Like, everywhere where it says hell in the King James Bible, if you look into that, there are actually multiple Greek words for hell. So there are actually 3 different hells, and you wouldn't know that unless you did a little extra digging. I've also heard there's sometimes whole sermons or YouTube videos or talks where people are speaking as an authority on something, and it's fine, people make mistakes, but sometimes people will have a whole sermon based on something that isn't quite right because they didn't look at the Greek and find the word. One big one is people always quote, love is patient, love is kind, love is this, love is that, from Corinthians, but actually the word is not love, the word is charity. And so, I mean, it's really important that you do a little bit more digging. I mean, maybe it's not important for everybody, because everybody's on a different walk and they're a different member of the body with a different purpose. But for me, I think it's really important. I really want to know what it means as much as I can. I want to meditate on that word because, I mean, I think it's good for everybody to get closer to the truth, you know, to learn more. So Blue Letter Bible, they have an app, and I think you can actually just do it on your browser on the internet as well. I'm looking over here at my screen because I have the Bible open on my screen so that I can have my chin up while I read it to you. But yeah, check that out because if you're interested, because I think it really adds totally new dimensions and can be really eye-opening. Okay, so here's another one of these titles. A Song of Confidence and God's Triumph over Evil. Psalm 10. Why do you stand afar off, O Lord? I feel that way sometimes, like, God, where are you? I mean, I feel that way every day, really. In moments where I'm like, I said something embarrassing, mostly in those moments I'm like, God, where are you? Why did you let me say that? I mean, there are other times that are more serious, but just, it's a familiar thought. Why do you stand afar off, O Lord? Why do you hide in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride persecutes the poor. Let them be caught in the plots which they have devised. For the wicked boasts in his heart's desire. He blesses the greedy and renounces the Lord. The wicked in his proud countenance does not seek God. God is in none of his thoughts. His ways are always prospering. You know, this is, and let me know if I'm interrupting too much, but this is another theme that I've seen a lot, and it's been a topic of discussion in my personal life lately. The wicked boasts in his heart's desire, and he blesses the greedy and renounces the Lord. You know, there are multiple places in the Bible where it says, you know, we are supposed to provide for the needy, and we're not supposed to add on wealth if there's a choice between giving more to somebody who already has money or giving more to somebody who doesn't have. We give more to the person who's in need. We give them a chance. And I've just come across that a lot, and then people say, well, is Jesus a socialist then? Where all the money gets put into one big pot and then we all redistribute it equally, and that's a hot debate. I think that it's not exactly that simple, because or it is that simple, but they people assume, okay, well then some people are going to work really hard, and then the rewards that they get for being diligent and working hard are going to be basically unfairly given to people who aren't working hard. But it's not like that it's more like how we have lived it out in America, which has been really good during my lifetime. This is something that Americans do really well, is we give to charity and we give freely, and it goes to people who can't, who are literally disabled. They're literally an orphan or a widow who needs the money, who can't get it for themselves. They're not lazy, they're not undeserving. They are, people fall on hard times. The poorest 3% of people, that the people who are poor aren't the same people throughout their lifetimes. People are poor for seasons in their lives. And there are some people who do remain poor their entire lives, but it's because they literally can't. They can't help themselves. And human beings, whether you're Christian or not, we need each other, there are seasons in life where maybe you've been strong your whole life and never needed anybody, and then you end up having a season if you live long enough. So I don't think it's like everything is necessarily perfectly equal, because sometimes, a lot of times it takes wealth to build more wealth, but there can be a point where the returns that somebody is getting on their investment is more than what somebody makes in a year to live on. And what can happen then, when one righteous person is very wealthy, and this happens a lot, look up the statistics in America, we are the most generous nation and have been for, I'm going to say we've always been, but the statistics go back as far as they go, but we are a very generous nation to the entire planet. We were this Christian nation and very prosperous, very blessed, and then instead of keeping it all to ourselves, we've spread it throughout the globe. And many economies, I have a degree in economics, and I studied developmental economics. That means, countries all over the world, developing countries, how does this all work? And I will tell you, the way that it works for many countries during my lifetime, their entire economy exists because of United States donations. It's donations from the United States, otherwise the country wouldn't exist. Or they wouldn't be eating, they would have to figure something else out. So that to me proves, the United States is a Christian nation, or we were. We give a lot. We want to give a lot. And it's not necessarily our government giving to other nations, although that's part of it. It's so many charities from the United States who work all over the world to give to people medical care, food, everything. We plainly give them money, we plainly give them resources. So opportunities. So anyway, let's get back to the Bible. The wicked boasts of his heart's desire. He blesses the greedy and renounces the Lord. The wicked in his pride countenance does not seek God. So sometimes people get so much money and they get proud of it, and they think that it's, they don't understand that the Lord rewards a diligent hand, and it rains and shines on everybody. Some people call that luck. I mean, there's an element of luck or nature, but when you're consistently diligent and not wicked, you will be okay. The Lord will reward you. But some people have a lot of sunshine. That's by luck. The wicked in his proud countenance does not seek God, but you know, people start taking credit for having wealth, and that's not necessarily the right attitude to have. Not if you're wicked, huh? And also, you should always be grateful to God, even if it was your hard work and your diligence, because God gave you the means to be able to work hard and to be diligent. Not everybody has the means to be able to be diligent. I was there recently when I gave birth, and I was simply disabled for 2 months. I simply couldn't do really basic things. Like, I couldn't stand up. Simply could not do it, you know? I've always known that exists, that there's such a thing as people being disabled, but when you experience something for yourself, it just makes it so much more real, you know, like, oh, they're not faking. This is real. This actually can happen to someone. God is in none of his thoughts. God is in none of his thoughts. His ways are always prospering. Your judgments are far above, out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he sneers at them. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved. I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and oppression. Under his tongue is trouble and iniquity. Gotta be honest, I feel like this is a bit for me. But whenever I have those thoughts or feelings, I start to believe those things, I rebuke it. I know better. And I try to humble myself, remind myself, you know, whether you like Donald Trump or not, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna bring him up and hopefully nobody gets triggered. But the point of bringing him up is that he's an example of someone who can go from having billions of dollars to being multi-millions in debt. Like, it doesn't, even if you reach billionaire status and you've been there for a long time and everybody knows you for it, you are a bad transaction away from, you know, losing it all. Like, that can happen to anybody. Most of us are not billionaires. Even if you feel really secure where you're at, your business is booming, you have a really nice house and no financial worries, all of a sudden something unexpected happens. So it's important that we always stay humble. Understand that the other person who you might start to think you're better than, the other people around you who are in adversity, it's not because they're not as smart as you or not as hardworking. Some people, sometimes that's true, but not true for everybody. You have to treat everybody with good respect, you know, because they might actually be better than you are with finances. They've just had really bad luck. That really happens. So it's just really important to stay humble and keep your foundation on God, and your foundation shouldn't be on money, okay? Because money is fickle. Money can come and go. You can work hard. I mean, you can lose it though, with no rhyme or reason. Just a matter of the fact that in the Bible it says it rains and shines on everybody, and you can translate that to luck. Anybody can have bad luck. Some people don't like the word luck. I understand why, but I'm fine with it because it actually does exist. And it is biblical. Some things, you know, a tornado ripping through your state or a hurricane ripping through your state, it's called luck, man. That's luck. Bad luck. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and oppression. Under his tongue is trouble and iniquity. He sits in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places he murders the innocent. His eyes are secretly fixed on the helpless. He lies in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lies in wait to catch the poor. He catches the poor when he draws him into his net. So he crouches, he lies low, that the helpless may fall by his strength. He has said in his heart, God has forgotten. He hides his face, he will never see. Arise, O Lord, O God, lift up your hand. Do not forget the humble. Why do the wicked renounce God? He has said in his heart, you will not require an account. But you have seen, for you observe trouble and grief, to repay it by your hand. The helpless commits himself to you. You are the helper of the fatherless. Break the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness until you find none. The Lord is king forever and ever. The nations have perished out of his land. Lord, you have heard the desire of the humble. You will prepare their heart, you will cause their ear to hear, to do justice to the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may oppress no more. Good stuff. Thank you for watching. This was Psalms 8, 9, and 10, and I hope you have a blessed day, and please subscribe and like my YouTube channel, and follow along with me for more Bible studies. And thank you so much for having fellowship with me and watching, and I pray to see you more and have fellowship with you. Amen.